ない。このすごい速さで小刻みにアクセルボタンを押すやり方はスタートダッシュをするやり方だ。
Where I thought the game was too slow and tanks were too unstoppable with Courage. Courage has now been nerfed to the point of mainly being viable on pure tanks. Along with this, lethality has been buffed. Notice you've been one-shot instantly by a Riven or Quinn, that's probably why. With these two changes to the meta, assassins and skirmishers now have much more leeway and will be picked up much more frequently. One of these lethality abusers is League's rejected Assassin's Creed protagonist, Talon. Talon has a kit built so well for utilizing the out-of-combat movement speed on lethality items as well as the stats they possess, you shouldn't be shocked if you see a lot of him in the future. And I'm here to help you get ahead of the curve and have you playing this ELO machine ASAP. Runes will have you taking 10% scaling CD to make sure you don't cuck yourself at 30% with your completed build. The rest goes in AD, armor, and MR. Masteries are simple. Grab a basic assassin page, but instead of Savagery and Thunderlords, pick up Wanderer and Storm Raider's Surge. Wanderer will obviously help you with those game-changing parkour-based roams, and your bread and butter combo will proc Storm Raider's Surge every time, allowing you to either disengage easily, chase for that kill, or juke enemies when you're on the defensive. Your first item on Talon will 99% of the time be a longsword to help you get that hot steamy lethality as early as you possibly can, and a refillable potion to help keep you shekel efficient. On your first back, you're going to finish a serrated dirk and tier 1 boots. Your next item is a completed Yomu's followed by a second dirk, allowing you to hit a 30 plus lethality power spike incredibly fast. Follow this with a black cleaver, duskblade, and edge of night. You will build both eventually, but build whichever one will help you the most first. Somewhere in there, finish boots of mobility for those sweet roams, and top it off with a guardian angel. Main point is that you hit that 3 lethality core build. Talon's basic lane combo will involve you using his Q, W passive, and Storm Raider's Surge proc to trade with your opponent. Ideally, you want to throw your W at them in a way that allows them to get hit by both rakes. As the second rake is coming in and they are slowed, walk into melee range so your Q becomes a crit as opposed to a leap. Then, quickly auto once to activate your insanely high damage bleed on Talon's passive. Then, use your Storm Raiders to either book it out of minion aggro or keep up that chase for the kill. Use Ignite here based off your own judgment if you need that extra damage to proc Storm Raiders and kill them, or watch as your enemy bleeds and burns for that sweet 300 gold. As this is pretty well entirely a topic of its own, you should aim to roam on Talon after a kill in lane or when the enemy recalls. Talon excels at cheesing junglers at their camps thanks to his E allowing him to jump in unexpectedly. Try and keep the enemy jungle warded whenever you can to use this unique mechanic. If you can, try and take tower with your jungler as early as possible to open up the map further to Talon roams. Now what separates the good Talons from your average filth is how they use their full combo late game. This combo involves proccing his bleed twice and utilizing his stealth to do it. You start off the same way by throwing out your W, but this time, don't be afraid to leap instead of a critical. Talon's kit gives him an inherent auto attack reset when proccing the bleed on his passive. You'll be able to get that Q auto off in under 1 second. Then use your ult. Kite around with Storm Raiders until your Q is nearly off cooldown. Then use the same auto reset I just mentioned on his Q to cause Talon's ultimate to converge on his target. With this, his Q will give you the 3 passive stacks needed to proc your bleed again. Reserve this combo for squishy champions and feel free to mix it up a bit depending on the situation you find yourself in. Now go play this to your heart's content or until lethality gets its inevitable nerf.